protests and things we didn't like or whatever, they just occurred. They weren't planned. They weren't set up or any leader saying, oh, well, we're going to have this trip today or this sit-in. They just happened because there was a mindset that was sort of like collective. Everybody sort of got it at the same point, you know, and nobody stood out like, oh, he's the great leader or she is, or spontaneous occurrences that happened because people were very pissed off, you know. Today I don't see that so much. I see the pissed offness show up, but it's usually like somebody spitting on the sidewalk, or fuck you, or, you know, that kind of attitude. But I'm not seeing the intelligent piss off, you know, where a spontaneous occurrence, like I saw that in protests in Nelson. All the young kids, even these guys, were all real pissed off about the bylaws coming about how they couldn't drum or the street baskers. And I'm out there 47 years old fighting for this. They didn't even show up. And I'm saying to myself, this isn't a spontaneous occurrence, this is a bunch of bullshit. You know, if you really gave a shit, we could have got on the camera. They wouldn't have cut me so fast. They're never going to cut me again because I'm going to have my own, but if you got an anger and you don't show up, you're on your own. And you get your own, make your own movie. Because that's the last time I'm going out there on my own when everybody's crying to me about it and don't show up. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do or say anything you don't want to say, but you can say anything you want to say. You're free.
What do you make out of what you just saw? What do you think of what that person said?
That was pretty intense, but it was all true, basically. I don't know. I had a lot to say.
Yeah.
Are you one of those kids that didn't show up?
I guess so.
Are you still complaining?
No, I don't really complain.
She doesn't.
I don't complain about things that aren't like too important. If it's like, you know, this happened the other day, I don't know. But if it's like something really important, I'm not just gonna sit back and whine about it.
No, you don't. She doesn't want it.
What about the educational system?
And what about this?
What are you learning in school?
Well,
The basic curriculum.
yeah, it's
Get on to something interesting with her. I know Melanie really well. She's really an ancient soul. I saw that in your eyes last night. I kept saying, look at her eyes. You're an absolutely exquisite person. He's asking you questions on the basic mundane levels, but I know you better than that. And I know what your aims are and your intents, and I know how creative you are. And I know what you think about, and I know your dream essences. And I know that your origin is very ancient. And I know that you've got lots to do in this life.
well, I think it's kind of stupid. Like they teach you things that you won't even need. Like if you want a job, you should like find something like for education that you want to learn. Not the stuff that you don't have, like you don't really care about at all.
Something benefiting you.
Yeah, and you're sitting there getting like pathetic grades because you don't care and you just don't want to listen.
And everybody's bored.
And then you got to take it over again if you fail, and you're like, I don't want to learn this.
This is it. It's resistance. It's a resistance. Especially when you're at the age now where you want to kick up your heels. You want to get a car. Yeah.
Got it.
You want to yahoo and travel around. You want to hang out with me for at least a year when you're done, right?
Yeah.
We got India to think about.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You got lots of hopes. Imposed curriculum. And so what can they say about it? They're limited in their rebellion. They're not going to get kicked out of school because, you know, for some stupid issue. You know what I mean? They're all angry though. They're all pissed off for their own reasons. It's not like the whole thing's bad. It's just...
Well, school is actually good. Like, you learn things. You do learn. But some things just aren't important.
Exactly.
It depends on what kind of person you are, what your goals are in life.
Exactly. Music. These kids can't go out and just protest and do all these things. They've got rules from their parents. They've got rules from their teachers. You know, it's imposed on them. They're limited. I know they are. I don't even want them to go out and put themselves on the line.
But then
as of yet.
We're limited too.
Well, of course we are, but we still have more privileges to battle the legal system if it comes down to that, whereas they don't. It's put on their parents if they get in trouble.
But
see?
To give them like a true understanding of it, and show them that we recognize the problems, you know, which are within that system, and then truly enlist them to make the change. So they're part of the change. Let them make the, you know,
they're making those changes in how they dress, in their music, and how they talk, and how they have a communications with each other that they don't have with adults. And in a way, the children are segregated from the older communities. I'm one of the
Yes.
lucky olders, because you guys like me. You know, I'm sort of cool, you
We
know?
couldn't.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So what do you think of what she just said? Do you think I'm laying too much on you by asking you to change?
Not really. Like, it's not much to ask for change. It's like, it's really heavy just to like just start thinking about it really, because I haven't really thought about it before. Like, not so intensely. To pay $5.
That makes me mad.
Yeah, you want to go for coffee. It costs like, I don't know, $1.
Basically, they don't want the kids anywhere in groups. Let's
Exactly.
get real. That's what I was
And if a
protesting in
grown up,
Nelson.
if someone like who's older came in, and they came for coffee, they wouldn't care.
No.
If it was
And
empty.
they don't even want you on the streets, grouping. No.
Like the skaters, they can't skate anywhere now,
This
or
is
they get their
right.
boards taken away in a
Well,
fine.
you know, my son Mike, you know
Yeah.
what he's up against.
He's skating downtown. They
Yeah,
can't fuck
he's,
off.
yeah, that's right. We almost got into a war with the rednecks.
That is so annoying. I can't stand that. It's like
That became violent. You know?
everything's fine.
Yeah, it is. It is. I see it everywhere. But that's what I was doing in Nelson that night. I was sticking up for you guys. Because they're trying to do that. They're trying to say you guys have no rights.
What
You
was
guys
that?
aren't allowed anywhere. You know that stuff I have on my door and all that when I went to do that thing in Nelson when they were passing all the bylaws on the street baskers and the musicians and dogs and all that, the little bylaws they were
Really?
passing.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, maybe you weren't one of them. There's the other kids then. But, you know, I saw that, how they were saying, basically what they were saying is, you guys just stay out of our sight. We don't want you
Yeah.
around.
Kids seen are not heard.
That's right. And don't play your music. Don't hang around in the parks.
Music has a lot to do with everything. Like, everyone listens to music.
And they don't give you jobs, but they want you to have all this money to get into the pool hall or get in here or get in
Yeah.
there. Everything. And your concerts cost, what, $50 a ticket, some of them?
Well, not.
Well, in
not
Vancouver,
like,
I'm
yeah.
thinking, all right?
Around
But
here, you can get like cheap ones, like $6, $8.
yeah, but for some guys your age, $6 is a lot of money, you know? And if you look at it, basically that was the message, was it not? You guys get lost. Wasn't that the message? That's what I heard. I heard you guys had no rights. You weren't even allowed to be in the park. And if you were, the pigs were on you in about 5 minutes.
We're like in this place where kids, little younger kids get everything. They have like things set up for them, right?
Mhm.
They have parks, but if you're
Yeah.
a teenager, you can't go in there.
See,
You can be an adult and go with your kids,
This
but
is
you
right.
can't be a teenager.
That's right.
Like, there's nothing for it for us.
That's right. I'm glad you said. Say that again.
What?
There's nothing for you.
There's nothing for us as the middle, I guess the
This-
middle group.
This is the message. That is the message. What was just said was the whole message. And that
And stuff, right? Well, grown-ups, they get everything, you know. They're like, oh, equal rights, so then women are allowed into their the male workforce, whatever. And then there's like the kids. Well, they're taught to be like all good and share and you know all that Barney stuff. And then there's us. We're like left in the middle. Like we're standing there by ourselves. Like what's going on? What happened to us? You know.
Exactly. I feel it. I do. I guess it's because I dealt with it in my own
And you like
boys.
teenagers trying to have a party, right? Like little kids, they have like their little birthday parties and stuff, right?
Mhm.
That's like no big deal. Like parents, they can drink, they can do anything they
Yeah.
want, you know.
And act like
They can
complete
they
idiots
can
if
have
they
like
want.
rowdy yard parties or whatever.
Yes,
we
again.
go like the middle of nowhere in the boonies, and the cops are trying to bust us.
That's right.
Like no one's getting hurt, no one's gonna get killed or
I
anything.
know.
And they're trying to bust us because we're having a good time.
That's right.
Nothing better to do, you know,
I
really.
know. I know.
Around music.
It
Like,
seems.
I know like lots of groups, they have like, you listen to their music, they have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Like, some groups, they're into like heavy stuff, like, I think it was Offspring and Pennywise, they're really into that stuff. You can tell by like their lyrics and stuff. There's, songs with self-esteem, like people have no self-esteem and people who are just following a crowd, like, you don't want to be, as they say, a trendy asshole. You know, you want to do what you want, so why can't people just be what they want to be, you know?
I know.
Like, if you, like, lyrics have a lot to do with it. I know lots of
They
people,
do.
their music, they feel for the music,
Mhm.
you know?
Yes. That's very true.
Mhm.
And that's gone down through time. That is the truth.
Like, I notice lots of people get their anger and their aggressions out in music.
Hmm. That is a fact. The 60s brought a lot of that kind of music out, and also, you know, other kinds of music that every generation has its own new music. You know, you guys brought a lot of anger music to us in the '90s, which is good. I mean, it's bringing out the message.
Yeah, and grown-ups just saying, well, what the hell's with that music? Fuck this, fuck that. Like,
Well, yeah.
what do you expect us to think?
Hmm.
I mean, they always say, well, fuck that. You guys don't get this or whatever.
Yeah, I know. But we have to understand their perspective too, just to balance. You know what I mean? To equal out, because the day comes when you have children and you'll have the same feeling when your kid says "fuck you" or whatever. You know. So you have to look at that too. You know, it's like I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand totally.
Yeah, being a parent and all. My kids did the "fuck you" thing quite a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
I mean, even I do it to my parents.
Yeah. Well, everybody does. It's
I
part.
recall something like, someone said that kids, they look up to their parents and their like their older siblings and stuff. And
Was that the Cosbys? It
no,
wasn't in my life.
no.
No. But anyway, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Like the younger kids, they they communicate with their parents and
Yeah.
stuff. When you're a teenager, all you have is your friends. Like your life basically
Yeah.
revolves around your friends.
Well, you get shut out when you become a teenager in a way, don't you? You feel shut out?
Always.
Must have been weird when you met me, though. Like some old lady that was on your wavelength.
It was kind of weird at
But
first.
then you
but
remembered me anyway,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Well, when I first met you, I thought I remembered you. Like,
I did.
Okay.
Well, now
I
we're
felt so
old.
comfortable around you, like
Yeah,
compared to any other person, you know.
same here. Well, that's because we're soulmates. I know. I just loved watching you last night. You got it. You got it.
Thank you.
Just totally admiring you. With Aaron and Caleb here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we were all admiring. You should have seen them.
What?
Just looking at your face was so beautiful.